Everyone you trust is using manipulation tactics on you right now. Your boss, your partner, your best friend, even your parents. The question isn't whether you're being manipulated, it's whether you're aware enough to see it coming. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Manipulation isn't some rare dark art practiced only by sociopaths. It's the default operating system of human interaction. Every conversation is a negotiation. Every relationship is a power dynamic. Every smile could be a strategy. This isn't cynicism. This is reality. And understanding this reality is the first step to protecting yourself from those who would weaponize it against you. Machiavelli understood something most people miss. Those who appear most virtuous are often the most dangerous. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." What this means for you is simple. The most skilled manipulators never look like manipulators. They look like helpers, victims, friends. Sun Tzu said it differently. All warfare is based on deception. And make no mistake, you are in a war for your attention, your resources, your energy, and your autonomy. So how do you spot a manipulator before they strike? There are 7 invisible warning signs. Most people miss all 7. By the end of this video, you'll never miss them again. Let's begin. Sign number 1. They're unnaturally charming when they first meet you. Notice I said unnaturally. There's a difference between genuine warmth and tactical charm. Robert Cialdini's principle of liking explains this perfectly. We say yes to people we like. Manipulators know this instinctively. They don't build rapport naturally. They construct it, precisely, methodically. Look at how cult leader Jim Jones operated. New members described him as the most charismatic person they'd ever met. He remembered names, asked personal questions, made everyone feel special. One survivor said, "Within 5 minutes, I felt like I'd known him my whole life." That wasn't accident. That was strategy. Watch a skilled car salesman work. Within 30 seconds, they've mirrored your body language, found common ground, and made you laugh. Is every charming person a manipulator? No, but every manipulator masters charm. Here's how you spot the difference. Genuine people are inconsistently charming. They have bad days, off moments, awkward silences. Manipulators maintain the performance too consistently. The charm never breaks, even in strange circumstances. If someone is perfectly tuned to you from moment 1, that's not chemistry, that's calculation. Sign number 2. They extract information but reveal nothing meaningful about themselves. This is the manipulator's intelligence gathering phase. Every question is reconnaissance. Every personal story you share is a vulnerability they catalog for later use. Meanwhile, they talk plenty but say nothing. They share stories that sound personal but contain zero exploitable information. This tactic uses reciprocity against you. You share something personal, you feel they should reciprocate. They do, but with carefully curated information that builds false intimacy without real vulnerability. Watch how this plays out in toxic workplaces. A manipulative colleague asks about your weekend, your family, your career frustrations. 3 months later, they know your divorce is stressing you out. You're worried about your performance review, and you're interviewing elsewhere. You know they like hiking and have a dog named Max. See the asymmetry? Steve Jobs was famous for this in negotiations. He'd grill people for hours about their positions, constraints, and motivations. His responses? Vague, philosophical, impossible to pin down. He always knew more about you than you knew about him. Next time someone asks you 3 personal questions in a row, pause. Then ask, "What about you?" Watch how they deflect. If they can't or won't reciprocate genuine vulnerability, you've found your answer. The warrior knows when to share. The philosopher knows when to withhold. Sign number 3. They create small emergencies that require your immediate help. This is about conditioning you to be their problem solver. Early in the relationship, they'll have a crisis. Nothing catastrophic, a missed deadline, a transportation problem, a small financial gap. You help because you're a good person. Then another crisis, and another, each slightly bigger, each positioned so that you're the only one who can help. This exploits 2 principles. First, the Ben Franklin effect. We like people more after we do them favors, not before. Each time you help them, you become more invested. Second, escalating commitment. Each crisis is slightly bigger than the last. If you helped with the small one, how can you refuse the medium one? This was a favorite tactic of Rasputin in the Russian court. He'd create opportunities to heal minor ailments in the royal family, building dependence incrementally. By the time Tsar Nicholas needed him for something major, the pattern was set. That friend who always needs a ride, always forgets their wallet, always has an emergency the night before you had plans. Each crisis just urgent enough that saying no feels cruel. Each rescue making you more invested in their dysfunction. Notice, their crises never get solved. They get managed, with your help. Because if their problems actually ended, they'd lose leverage over you. Next time someone brings you an emergency, ask yourself, why is this my emergency? If you can't answer that clearly, you're being conditioned. The master helps from strength, not obligation. The slave helps from guilt. Sign number 4. They share a painful secret surprisingly early. This sounds counterintuitive. Aren't manipulators supposed to be secretive? Not always. Sometimes the secret is the manipulation. They share something deeply personal, childhood trauma, a past betrayal, a shameful secret, within the first few conversations. Your instinct is to think, wow, they really trust me. They must feel safe with me. That vulnerability wasn't a gift. It was a transaction. This weaponizes your empathy. Once someone has shared trauma with you, you feel protective of them. Criticism feels like cruelty. Boundaries feel like abandonment. Carl Jung called this shadow projection. They show you their wound, and you instinctively become their healer. A manipulative boss might share their struggle with imposter syndrome or a difficult childhood in your first one-on-one. Suddenly, when they're unreasonable later, you think, well, they've been through a lot. I should be understanding. Their trauma becomes your excuse for their abuse. Love bombers use this constantly. Second date, they're sharing their deepest pain. You feel special, chosen, trusted. You're not special. You're being locked in. Genuine vulnerability builds gradually. It matches the actual depth of the relationship. Strategic vulnerability arrives too early, too detailed, too perfectly timed to create obligations. Ask yourself, does this disclosure create intimacy, or does it create responsibility? If you suddenly feel protective of someone you barely know, you're being manipulated. True power comes from seeing the difference between genuine pain and weaponized victimhood. Sign number 5. They subtly separate you from your support network. This is the most dangerous sign. This is when manipulation becomes control. It starts small, subtle criticisms of your friends. Are you sure they have your best interests at heart? Concerns about your family. They don't seem to appreciate you. Conflicts with your schedule. You spend so much time with them. What about us? Manipulators know your friends and family are threat detection systems. Outside perspectives see what you can't, so they need to jam the signal. Joseph Stalin perfected this. He'd isolate advisors from their networks before purging them. By the time they needed allies, they had none. Abusive partners follow a playbook. First, monopolize time, then criticize friends, then create conflicts that force you to choose. 6 months later, You've lost touch with everyone who might tell you the truth. A manipulative manager starts excluding you from group meetings, giving you special, private projects, suggesting your colleagues are jealous of your unique relationship with leadership. Suddenly, you're isolated, dependent, vulnerable. This exploits the principle of social proof. When you're isolated, the manipulator becomes your only reference point for reality. What's normal? What's reasonable? What's your fault? Whatever they say it is. Ask yourself, are my relationships outside this person getting stronger or weaker? If every relationship except this one is deteriorating, you're not the problem. You're being systematically isolated. Maintain your network aggressively. Schedule regular contact with people who knew you before this relationship. They remember who you were. They'll notice who you're becoming. The warrior maintains strategic alliances. The prisoner loses them. Sign number 6. Their generosity comes with invisible strings and perfect memory. This is sophisticated. Most people think manipulators are selfish. Sometimes the opposite is true. They're incredibly generous. They help you move, they buy you gifts, they do you favors. But here's the tell. They remember every single thing they've ever done for you, in detail, forever. Each gift is a deposit in the bank of obligation. Each favor is a debt marker they'll collect later. And when they collect, they'll collect with interest. This weaponizes reciprocity. We're hardwired to repay debts. Manipulators know this, so they create debts you never agreed to owe. Renaissance princes used this constantly. They'd give lavish gifts to rival lords, creating obligations that could be called in during political crises. The gift wasn't generosity, it was leverage. Your colleague offers to cover your shift, unrequested but helpful. 3 weeks later, hey, remember when I covered for you? I need you to back me up in this meeting. The favor you didn't ask for becomes a debt you can't refuse. A partner who keeps meticulous mental accounts. I drove you to the airport last month. I listened to you complain about work for an hour. I bought you dinner 3 times. Genuine generosity keeps no records. Manipulation keeps spreadsheets. Listen for phrases like, after everything I've done for you. Remember when I'm always there for you, but when I need something. These aren't statements of fact. They're presentations of invoices. True gifts expect nothing. Manipulative gifts expect everything. If someone's generosity comes with a running tally, it's not generosity. It's investment they expect to cash in. Either decline the gift or immediately clarify. I appreciate this, but I want to be clear. I don't want you to feel I owe you for this. Watch their reaction. Genuine givers will reassure you. Manipulators will be insulted. The master gives freely. The manipulator trades strategically. Sign number 7. You constantly question your own memory and perception around them. This is the end game. This is when manipulation becomes psychological warfare. You remember a conversation clearly. They insist it never happened. You know they said something. They swear they said the opposite. You feel angry about something reasonable. They convince you you're being irrational. This is gaslighting. Named after a play where a husband manipulates his wife into questioning her sanity. Our memories are less reliable than we think. Manipulators exploit this. They don't just lie. They lie with such conviction that you start doubting yourself. Elizabeth Loftus's research on false memories shows how easily our recollections can be manipulated through suggestion and confident contradiction. You now face a choice. You can continue as you were, trusting your instincts, giving people the benefit of the doubt, believing the best in others. This is the comfortable path. Most choose it. Or you can step into uncomfortable awareness. You can start seeing the patterns, the tactics, the strategies hidden in plain sight. This path is lonely, because once you see these dynamics, you can't unsee them. That kind friend at work? You'll notice they only ask questions, never answer them. That charming new neighbor? You'll see the performance underneath the warmth. That generous family member? You'll hear them collecting debts in their language. Is this a price you're willing to pay? The uncomfortable truth: awareness costs innocence. But innocence without awareness is just vulnerability wearing a smile. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, pay attention to one person who makes you feel slightly uncomfortable, but you can't explain why. Don't confront them. Don't change your behavior. Just observe. Ask yourself, do they ask more than they answer? Do they remember their favors more than you do? Do you feel more confused after talking to them? Are you becoming more isolated since you've known them? Take notes. Literally. Write down interactions. Because manipulators count on your faulty memory and social conditioning against confrontation. Don't rely on either. The reality. The warrior observes before acting. The victim reacts without understanding. Which will you choose? One final warning. This knowledge is dangerous. Not because manipulators will retaliate, though they might, but because once you understand these tactics, you'll be tempted to use them. Understanding manipulation is the first step to either defending against it or deploying it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The philosopher's goal isn't to become a more skilled manipulator. It's to become less manipulatable. There's a difference between strategic awareness and tactical manipulation. One is armor, the other is poison. Know the difference. Because the game is rigged, but you don't have to play it. You just have to see it clearly enough that no one can play you. The master sees the game. The manipulator plays the game. The victim doesn't know there is a game. Choose mastery. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. Comfort is where manipulation thrives. Awareness is where it dies. See you in the next one.